Hotone has released the much anticipated Ampero II Stage, and we're going to have some fun with it today. It's an impressive unit for sure, so devices like the Quad Cortex and HX Stomp got some serious competition. Now let's start right away with a high gain metal demo for you guys. Check it out. Awesome, that sounded great. So that was my ESP LTD Phoenix 1000 Deluxe, the red one with the Fishman Fluence modern pickups in it. Into the new Ampero II Stage by Hotone, this wonderful device over here. Now the preset was based around the Engle Saga 1 amplifier, which is based on an Engle Savage 120, and it sounds excellent. And I think it's great for metal. It's my favorite metal amplifier in this unit, in fact. I had the voice set to rough and the depth boost on for some extra low-end chunk. After the amp, I had the IR block loaded up with the high quality mode, using the OwnHammer Low Tuned Essentials high gain IR, and also filtering out some of the low frequencies, under 100 Hz to be precise. The chain starts off with the fast gate noise gate, which is a very effective noise gate, especially for high gain stuff. And before the amp, I have the Para EQ set up for some subtle EQ moves. Just removing a touch of low mids and lows and boosting a little bit of level, so it's just a sort of subtle tone shaper. And after the IR, I have some subtle studio reverb going on for some subtle ambience. I also used the Footswitches to punch in and out a couple of effects, the flanger effect to be precise, and the wah as well. And the wah, which is the Sandman wah, which is based on the Dunlop Kirk Hammett wah, was controlled with the Ampero II Press, this excellent expression pedal, which Hotone also sent me for this video. And I must say that I really like how compact and sturdy the expression pedals by Hotone are. So this thing works really well together with the Ampero II Stage. So that's a really nice touch as well. So I did reviews on some other Ampero products on the channel as well. I featured the Ampero II Stomp on the channel and the Ampero Mini as well. Both are excellent. They have a lot of great tones inside of them. And of course, the packages are also compact, but the price range is also very attractive. So not expensive, but very well constructed and high quality sounds and a lot of functionality. So again, the Amperos are competing against products like the Line 6 HX Stomp and the Neural DSP Quad Cortex or the Fractal Audio FM3, products like that. However, the Hotone products are a little bit more affordable. So in terms of the pricing, they are attractive indeed. And in general, they don't really compromise in terms of the sound quality and stuff like that, in my opinion at least. I also really enjoy the touchscreen functionality of all these products. Working with the touchscreen on the Amperos is a joy. I think that the screen looks great, and it's really smooth to work with the touchscreen as well. So it's not a clunky experience at all. So I really enjoyed that functionality with the Ampero II Stomp as well as the Mini. And of course, I also really enjoy it with the Ampero II Stage. It just makes editing patches very easy. Of course, you can use the controls over here and here, but I just prefer using the touchscreen itself for most of the work. Now, the Stage basically takes the concept of the Ampero II Stomp to the next level and more live performance ready. They added some really nice new features, and of course they added a bunch of Footswitches as well. Not to mention the new ins and outs on the back, which we will get to. Now the stage basically has 5 Footswitches down here, which you can use to browse between the different presets. And with these 2 switches on the top here, you can switch between the banks, as well as turn the tuner on and off, as well as turn the looper on and off by holding these down. And when you activate the looper, the bottom 5 switches basically act as controllers for the looper. Now with this switch over here on the right, you can go between the stomp mode and the preset mode. So when you go to stomp mode, you can turn various effects on or off with these 7 switches, by the way. So these switches on the right then also turn into stomp switches, which is awesome. Now by holding the stomp button down, you can also bypass the unit completely. So again, in stomp mode, you have access to 7 different switches for turning effects on and off, and for the scenes, which I'll get to. But that's a lot of Footswitch real estate, so that can be very useful for live shows and stuff like that. And as I mentioned, they also added the scenes feature, which is very handy. Features like that also come in competing products, and that basically allows you to turn multiple effects or blocks on or off at the same time by pressing one switch. And I'm going to demonstrate how I would use that in a little bit. Now, the Ampero II stage can do so many things. It's a really comprehensive unit, so I won't be able to demonstrate everything to you in this video. There are some videos out there on the internet by Leon Todd, for example, or Leo Gibson, that go into great detail about what all you can do with this unit. So I recommend checking those out, as well as the manual and the website for more technical information. What I just want to do is focus on some of the new features that I found particularly useful, as well as just check out how I would use this in my own music, as you heard in the intro track. Just know that the Ampero II stage is a powerful unit with plenty of DSP, with a great list of amplifier models, preamp models, bass amp models, cabinet models. You can load your own IRs. There are plenty of effects in here, a wide variety of effects in fact. I think in total there are over 460 effects in this unit, which is a quite impressive amount. Of course, you can choose between various signal chain options and also assign the Footswitches in any way you like, basically. So yeah, it's an impressive unit for sure. Now I do want to take a look at the ins and outs on the back to see what we have there. On the left, we have the external control jacks for the expression pedals, for example, and that's what I used to connect the Ampero II Press for the intro track for the wah-wah. Then we have the input section with the jack input as well as the new XLR input. You can use this for a microphone or a keyboard or anything like that, so it's not just limited to playing guitar. Then we have the stereo effects loop, unbalanced and balanced outputs, an aux in, phones out, MIDI connections, and of course the USB-C port. Now, as with the Ampero II Stomp, you can control this entire unit with your PC editor, so that's really cool. So you can program your patches, upload your own IRs and stuff like that. And the interface on the computer is basically the same as on the unit itself. So it's very easy to switch between the unit and the computer. But another cool feature is that this unit also has Bluetooth connectivity. So you can even use the editor on your phone to edit the patches and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Now, of course, you can also use the Ampero II stage as your audio interface. So that's really useful. You can even do reamping and stuff with that, which I did use for this demo as well for the final tones. So yeah, in general, working with this unit is just a breeze. The user interface is well laid out and it's just easy to work with and a lot of fun. Now I want to try some more tones, and this time I want to try the scenes feature, just to change some effects in and out throughout the song. And let's do a clean demo right now, again with my ESP LTD Phoenix 1000, but this time on the neck pickup. Let's take a listen to that right now. That sounded very nice. So at the core of this preset, I used the Jazz Clean amp model. The Roland Jazz Chorus 120 is one of my favorite amplifiers for clean tones, and it's no different in this unit. And I used the bright switch, by the way, for some nice clarity. Followed by the IR block with the OwnHammer Classic Rock cabinet in it. And I'm starting the chain with the squeezer compressor, which is always on, by the way. I like that compressor because it has the blend function, which is cool. Now you can program up to 5 scenes, and for each scene, you can basically choose which effects you want to have on or off. So let's see what I did there. For the first scene, I have the analog mono delay on after the amplifier, which was synced to the beat, along with the concert reverb. Then for scene 2, the delay was turned off and the mod block with the 90 phaser turned on. I skipped scene 3, but I went straight to scene 4, which I used for the Shimmer 1 reverb, and then I turned the other reverb off, so I switched in between the reverbs basically. And then for the outro section, I simply went back to scene 1. So using the scenes can be a very handy feature, especially for live performances. So you don't have to tap dance basically. You can just program everything with the scenes and make it a breeze to switch between various effect chains. Now, as far as I know, you can't really control specific parameters with the scenes, like for example, the level of a delay or the amount of drive in a boost and stuff like that. So perhaps they will add that in a future update. So anyway, with each preset, you can assign all 7 Footswitches, and you can choose to either assign single effects to them or scenes. You can basically customize that in any way you like. Now let's go ahead and try another type of tone, a more classic rock tone with my Gibson Les Paul Standard 60s. And yeah, let's have some fun with this one. Check it out. Very nice. So at the core of this preset, I'm using the Plexi amplifier, the 50-watt Plexi jump model to be precise, and I thought that sounded really excellent and organic. In the IR block, I have an OwnHammer Greenback M25L Rockbox IR loaded up, and at the end of the chain, the studio reverb once again. And then again, I used the scenes to turn some effects on or off. For the first scene, I have the Stone Phaser mod on, and then for the second scene, that effect gets turned off. And then for the chorus section on the right side, the envelope auto wah filter gets turned on, along with some BBD delay after the IR. And then for the lead licks, I turned off the envelope filter and turned on a tube screamer in front of the amplifier for some extra kick, and with the delay on as well. And then for the final parts of the song, I just went back to scene 2. So I thought that the tones in this demo sounded really good, and I think that they really hold up when you compare them to tones of other competing products, even products that cost at least twice as much. I also really like what they did here in terms of the extra functionality, with the extra switching options and the scenes. All of that is wonderful, as well as the I/O that they added. All the effects are high quality, and most of the amplifier models as well. And I didn't even mention that you get access to all the separate preamp models, as well as a simple power amp model as well. So there's a bunch of stuff in here that's quite original in comparison to the competition. It's a fun unit to work with, especially with the touchscreen, and it sounds great, so yeah, I like it. And since the price is so attractive, if you're looking for an all-in-one unit that can do a lot for the money, like an audio interface and all that stuff, I recommend checking out the Ampero II Stage for sure. Thanks to Hotone for sending this over to me and also for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it useful. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like and subscribe down below, as that really helps the channel out. I'd usually appreciate it. Also, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on the Ampero II Stage. Of course, you can also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching and hope to see you soon. Cheers.